brilliant. It's a hero maximum. On the ground, down the ground, another hero maximum.
Welcome back to the Maximum Cricket Podcast. This is the Patreon Powerplay. My name is Munter and I'm joined by Jacko. Jacko, are you happy with the name, the Patreon Powerplay? Quick and explosive.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's, that wee extra one. Listeners can call it in, pick when they want to listen, but an extra wee bonus round for the listeners. So, yeah, I like the power play.
Nice. Okay, so we'll move on to our first segment, which created a lot of buzz on social media this week. The finale of the perfect test batsman. This is right-handers and left-handers combined. So over the last few weeks, episode 1 we did right-handers, episode 2 we did left-handers, and this week it's the best of both. The winner of the right-handers versus the winner of the left-handers. This week I've chucked up a series of polls on the Instagram between the winner of the right-hander, the right and left-handers to decide our perfect test batsman. Stay tuned to see who was picked between Ian Bell and Kumar Sangakkara. Real heavyweight, real Tyson Ali sort of job.
Main card sort of stuff, isn't it?
Main card, sure. So yeah, we'll leave that to the end. So just to start off with, guide to third man. We just gave it to Kane Williamson. Back foot punch. We just gave it to Joe Root. Didn't chuck up a poll for these two simply because the competition's not out there. Kane's biggest challenge was probably Root. Someone said Don Bradman. We sort of debunked that last week. Root's biggest challenge was probably Kane as well. Tom Latham from left-handers. But to be honest, I couldn't actually find a photo of Tommy playing the back foot punch for Graham. So it can't have been that iconic. Any dramas with that, Jacko?
No, I think, as you said, probably the two of the bigger contenders right there are each other. So nice of them to split the chocolates and take one each.
Yeah. It's how the 2019 World Cup should have been decided, but that's another story. Righto. First on the card, we've got defense. So this is ranging from letting the ball go to just your technical block and whatnot. How hard are you to be dismissed? We've got Rahul Dravid versus Alastair Cook. The wall versus the best opener in England, which was built on defence, obviously, because it's the hardest place to open the batting. Yeah, he averaged mid-40s. So the public was pretty unanimous. They weren't unanimous. Unanimous means 100%. So Rahul Dravid is 79% and Cook 21%. I might have 21% of our followers on Instagram as English. That might have been a giveaway. So the public has got Rahul Dravid over the line. Jacko, where do you sit?
Yeah, and I mean, you can accuse me of pandering all you like here, but there's only one bloke in Test cricket nicknamed The Wall, and that's Rahul Dravid. So yeah, I mean, the nickname speaks for itself. You don't get that without, rock solid technique, rock solid decision making, and just like a real love of batting time. So yeah, it's got to be Dravid, doesn't it?
Yeah, this one isn't like I'm going to knock Alastair Cook down to build a case. I think this is too. I think there's a case, but it's not like for Alastair Cook. It's like when you're voting MVP for the NBA, you would go, "Oh, why isn't Alastair Cook in the conversation?" Like he's in the conversation, but he's never at any point would you put him ahead of Rahul Dravid, who's like Jokic. Like he just is. Yeah. Like you said, he's the wall.
You're Russell Westbrook's. No, not Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson of the NFL. Like never got an MVP vote, but he's always good. Till last year at Denver, but he's always good. But yeah, just never the guy.
Yeah, good comms.
Unfortunately.
Good comms. Well, that's. I'll make it unanimous. I had Dravid as well, so that's 3-0. So Rahul Dravid is, if we're creating the best test batsman or the perfect test batsman, Rahul Dravid will be our defensive wall. Moving on to the cut shot. Now we had Ross Taylor representing the right-handers, Justin Langer representing the left-handers. Wasn't sure how this would go because I think there were a lot of candidates for the left-handers and not as many candidates for the right-handers. So to think that Justin Langer is number one, I think it's a heavy burden, but I think he carried it well into this poll. Pretty even split. So the public has given Ross Taylor the nod with a 60% win share. Langer's at 40%. At one stage, it was pretty even for a hot minute. So, I don't hate that. I think a lot of it might be personal preference. Where did you sit there, Jacko?
Yeah, and I mean, I think the cut shot was the toughest of them all because as we said, like you just throwing hands, like guys just throw hands at the cut shot. But yeah, I mean, if this is a classic Kiwis versus Aussie, I'm always going to go to the little brother, and I'm going to back Roscoe.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I think left-handers have an advantage with the cut shot because the ball's definitely didn't Langer. The Langers was way before around the wicket jobs. It just looked nice. It was a lot easier with the ball going across you.
Yeah.
And it always went fast as the boundary. And I always felt I just liked Ross Taylor's cut shot. Like that's how I envisioned playing a cut shot. I would watch him play it and I would try and play it like that. I don't know if that's copybook. Copybook's probably Langer, probably more of your back and across. But there was something about the forward press, the shuffle backwards, the fast hands. Like it maybe wasn't textbook, but for me, I was Taylor as well. So let's make that unanimous for Ross Taylor taking out the cut shot. So far we've got cut shot Ross Taylor, defensive Rahul Dravid looking good. Straight drive, Jacko. We had Sachin Tendulkar versus Matty Hayden, the little master versus the big bastard, the chestiest man around. This was a bit of a bath. To be fair, probably the most one-sided affair. At one stage, it was Sachin at 100%. Like I'm talking, there was like 15 votes Sachin before a single vote of Hayden came in. So it ended up a wee 85-15 sway. Some Aussies obviously sort of throw it in there. I think, I'll give it up to you, Jacko. What's your thoughts on that? On those two?
Yeah, I mean, you try to make an argument in your head for, your Haydos, your chest stuff, your barrel stuff, just big rig stuff. But I suppose like the straight drive, something everyone's got. Like all batters have a pretty nice straight drive. I think it's sort of in that realm of the cover drive. To not give it to arguably one of the best players ever, who with that £3.5 or whatever it was, just sort of crushing the hammer down. It's got to be Tendulkar for me. So, the listeners sort of said it, didn't they? He was nearly at 100%, and I think it was there for a reason. So, the Master Blaster gets the straight drive for me.
Yeah, it was the way that Hayden kind of just brutalised the ball straight down the ground, just chested it down the ground. It wasn't like a nice, crisp, straight drive like Sachin, where it was just pure timing and technique and like it's different versions for it. So I think that was probably an easy one for me. Another easy one, we've got the pull/hook shot. Now this was a three-way battle, a triple threat, if you will, mainly because we had two options from the left-handers circle. We had Alistair Cook coming in with the hook shot, Hussey with the pull shot, versus the GOAT of pull shots, hook shots, whatever you want to call them, Ricky Ponting. Even 2-on-1 wasn't even a challenge. Ponting came home with 81%. The other two were 19% combined. That was a bath, really. I'm going to assume you're in the same sort of realm there, Jacko.
Yeah, we're starting to see a trend here for the righties. And I think, obviously it's Ponting. That pull shot, the swivel pull, might be the most iconic shot in cricket. Like if you wanted to have a guy, the Jerry West of the NBA logo, if you wanted to have the cricket logo, like I'm thinking it's punter's pull shot. I don't know if there's any pushback or who else would be.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
We get that made up. We get that made up for the socials.
It might be Bradman running down the wicket, running it down to third man, maybe.
Yeah, or just hitting that golf ball with his cricket wicket. but yeah, if you want to talk the most iconic shots in cricket, I think it's Punter's pull shot. Unfortunately for the lefties. So yeah, another bloodbath, but deservedly so.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Alistair Cook and Hussey, they both have phenomenal pull shots, hook shots, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to, however you want to say it. But I don't know, Ponting was just iconic. Like you said, it's like comparing like Steph Curry's 3-point shooting prowess to Steve Kerr's shooting percentage. Like you might say, oh, Steve Kerr, he shot it better from three. But like Steph Curry just did it in so many different ways. Like Ponting was just had so many different pull shots. Like, and if you look at a photo of Ponting playing a pull shot, I can close my eyes and hear it. I can hear the sound that it goes off the bat. Like it's a big, maybe it's that era, but it's a real, it's a big crack. You know what I mean? Like it's a
the
massive
Kahuna.
crack.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It's great stuff. It's the best shot in cricket. I think
that it absolutely is. Absolutely. Okay. This was the closest battle not by far. This was the closest battle. We had 4 votes between them in the end. The clip off the pads, Michael Clarke versus Stephen Fleming. This really tore the listeners up. So Stephen Fleming was the winner in the end, but Clarke was ahead for a lot of that. So Stephen Fleming's ended up with a 52% win share, Clarke at 48. Like I said, 4 votes between them. 2 votes could swing either way. That's quickly. This is a tough one, eh? This is a really tough one. Both have very picturesque sort of clip shots. Where did you land, Jacko?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I reckon Michael Clarke was one of my favourite batters to watch back growing up. Fleming, I was just probably a little bit young to see his prime. But like Pup Clarke, we're talking 300 on New Year's Day test stuff. But what I saw of Fleming was just him depositing guys over square leg, like over mid wicket in one day cricket with that sort of flick off the wrist, off the leg. Sorry. I mean, it's GM purist stuff. It's the white gloves with the purple arrows in the Telstra 3/4 sleeve New Zealand one day top. So I mean, Fleming's an icon of New Zealand cricket, and that's an icon of a shot. So I've had to go for Fleming here.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and you could swing it either way. I would say, like if you watch, like Fleming's best innings is probably that match against South Africa, that World Cup 2003 when he makes that 100, and there's some brutality with his clip shots. There's some power to it.
Yeah.
Clarke's like a little bit more touch. Like it's probably a lot of it's along the ground, and it just look aesthetically pleasing. Whereas for me, like Fleming is like you said, like he's depositing it into the stands, and there's elegance to it as well somehow. Like he's long limbs, he's all that sort of stuff. So I went with Fleming as well, but Clarke was pretty close. So
it feels like tomorrow I'll be Clarke. Like whatever day you catch me on, I'll probably give you a different answer for this one, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, another one. Okay, this is the second closest battle. This is the heavyweight bout, the cover drive, the one that everyone can play. I think looking at the votes, it felt like we had the right two competing. It's Ian Bell versus Kumar Sangakkara. Just absolute glory stuff. The public have spoken, and they've gone with Ian Bell at 53%. Sangakkara is at a 47% swing. 7 votes between them. Jacko, where did you land?
Yeah, I mean, another real close one. I think this could change day to day. But I think there's something about the Ian Bell cover drive that's just pure. Like it doesn't feel like he's missing it. I think when I think cover drive, I think Ian Bell. So Yeah, I'll probably have to give it to Ian Bell purely on that, because I just don't think you can beat it. It's one of the best shots I've ever seen in cricket, and one of my earliest memories of a cricket shot. So I'll leave Kumar out again to the detriment of the Sri Lanka fans, but yeah, it's got to be Ian Bell.
It's a good running joke that actually that you just continually forget about singers. Well, I'll go. I gave it Sanger, but it was close. Like it really could go the way. For me, it was just I gave it to him because he's left-handed, and I was like, left-handers just look nicer. And that's not even Ian Bell's fault.
Nah, it was interesting to say that because I was sort of going through it, and like it almost feels like right-handers have their signature shot, like your Ponting pull, your bell cover drive, your Kane Williamson like guide, but left-handers look better in general. So it's like, when you're putting guys' signature shots up against just a guy who looks way better in general, it's always going to be tough. But like, if I just wanted to watch one player bat for a long period of time, it's probably Sangakkara. But if I want to watch everyone's best shot, they're mostly right-handers, if that makes sense.
I wonder if you make a good point. I wonder if it's because, like you said, left-handers look better, so they have a lot of shots that look good. Whereas right-handers, it's harder, so that when they do have a shot, it stands out a bit more. I think that could be potentially it.
Yeah. Sort of why we've seen 6v1 or whatever, 6v2 almost.
Bit of a walkover, that, to be fair. And even the left-handers win was like very, very close. Like could have gone either way. So no bars.
Coming from two right-handers, very prejudiced.
Yeah, well, 100%. Most people are right-handed. So, okay, Jacko, should we move on to our top 10?
Yep.
Okay, I think there's a bit of momentum with your top 10 form as of late. I think you're starting to get used to the concept, and you're starting to sort of really make a name for yourself in this league, which I think the public's starting to get behind.
Yeah, still doing no film work, no technique stuff, but showing up and getting it done.
Just muscle memory sort of stuff. So, so this one, Jacko, in the India versus West Indies first test, Ashwin took his 33rd and 34th fifth wicket haul in Test cricket. That puts him fifth equal on the all-time list.
Yeah.
Can you name the other 9 in the top 10?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, sort of your basic rules where it's your 60 seconds. I'll give you a clue at the top. I'll give you a clue at 20, and I'll give you a clue at 40.
I saw this list midweek too.
Did you? It did pop up, did it?
Yeah, just scrolling. But
there's a couple that are easy.
Took the 3 seconds of my time that every post takes. So
it's just a straight. It's really hard to just grab when you're scrolling all day. It's really tough, eh? Let me get a time ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready, Jacko? So I will give you the nationalities of the top 10. So obviously you've got Ashwin's in there. He's Indian. We've got 2 Sri Lankans. We've got 2 Australians. We've got 1 New Zealand player. We've got 1 other Indian player. We've got 2 Englishmen. And we've got 1 South African.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Righto. On 3, 2, 1, go.
We've got Murali Dharan and Warren at 1 and 2.
That's your 1 and 2,
Yeah. Give me the 3, James Anderson.
He's your 7.
He's your 7, still on there. Broad is the other Englishman, I'm going to guess.
No, he's not.
No Broad. Shit. Nathan Lyon.
No, Latham Lyon. So that is a pause. That's a pause there. So you've got Murali, you've got Murali, Warren, Anderson. So you've got probably the easy ones. Okay, I reckon what Do you want me to give you the nationalities again as your clue, or do you want what's a good clue, do you think? What can help you? Because there's still a few on the board.
Yeah, let's go the nationalities again because I feel like I had a good group of names in my head after the
Okay.
first nationalities.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got one South African.
Oh, yeah.
We've
I
got
know who that
one
is,
more
I think.
Englishman. We've got one more Australian. We've got one more Sri Lankan. We've got one more Indian. And we've got one New Zealand player.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Dale Steyn will be the South African.
Here's your 10.
Yeah. And then is Richard Hadley the
Here's your
Kiwi?
3. Your 3.
A Kiwi? That's quite high. That's very high. And then another Sri Lankan, no clue. Another Indian, Anil Kumble.
Yes, that's your 20 seconds. So that's all your Indians up to date. So
That's good.
that's a
So
good
we've got
round
one
there,
English.
Jacko. Really good round. So
Yeah.
you've got so how many's left? You've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you've got 3 left and 3 left in 20 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give you something. I'll give you something on each of the guys left.
H.
Okay, so you've got a left arm. Okay, so your Sri Lankan is a left arm spinner. No, so a left armer. Your Australian is a pace bowler, and your Englishman is an all-rounder. Okay.
All-rounder. Okay.
Okay. Ready? Got 20 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Flintoff.
No.
McGrath.
Yes.
Ian Botham.
Yes. One more. 10 seconds.
Oh, left-hander. Oh, is it a swing bowler or a spinner? Oh, I got two guys in my head, but I can't name them. Oh, what's his fucking name?
Final
Chamunter
guess.
Vas.
No.
No.
It is Ringana Harath.
Hurrah. Yeah. I could actually picture Ringana.
Yeah, I thought from the start that would be the tough one. I thought like that's gonna trip you out. I was kind of hoping, I thought if you were gonna have a chance, that was gonna be the last one, like on your last clue. Like I was gonna give you a good clue.
Yeah, you really rattled me with his spinner on he's a left armer. And I was just trying to think Sri Lankan left
that's probably my bad, to be fair, because I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was too obvious when I said left arm spinner. I was like, oh, well, they've got it. Then I was like, oh, that's a bit. But then I threw you off. That's probably a bit on the nose there. That's not in the spirit of the game for sure.
But I had Harath, and I was trying to picture left arm seamers for Sri Lanka, and Chamunter Vas, only one that came to my head. Great player though.
Yeah, I'm glad you got both of them, mate, because when you went with Flintoff, I thought, fuck, he's gone here. He's fucking gone.
Yeah.
So just on this list, so Ashwin is 5th. Yeah. So here's the list really. So you got Murali at 67. You got second place.
Not getting touched, is it?
No way. Shane Warne at 37. Richard Hadley at 36. Kumble at 35. Ashwin and Harath at 34. Anderson 32. McGrath 29. Botham 27 and Steyn at 26. So realistically, Ashwin has a very, very good shot at getting at the 2.
Yeah.
Maybe the series.
Very good chance. Yeah.
Maybe the series.
Yeah. Maybe in the India West Indies game he plays.
Yeah. Do you think Murali's underrated? Just looking at these lists, like he's.
Yeah. Everyone says, like, looking at that list, Sri Lanka could be the home of spin.
True.
Yeah, I mean, he played for a long time, like 800. I remember when Warne was on they were battling to get to 700, like first. They were sort of like, I think, like one of them got 500 first, and then the other one got 600 first. So like, I remember it being close, and Warren got 700. Can't remember if he got it first or not, but it was close. And then Warren retired, and Murley went on and took another like 113 wickets or something, like outrage. So what did he end on? 807?
No, he finished on 800 exactly. He took a wicket off his last ball
Yeah,
in Test cricket,
yeah.
which was pretty
See what,
cheap.
you play another one if you end at 799, don't you?
But just
Real
on it,
life
like
Bernie
how good's
Mac stuff,
Richard
Mr.
Hadley?
3000. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Yeah, Richard Hadley, unreal. That's so high at third.
Oh, I know.
I think,
That's why like he's so underrated. Like, and he's the
yeah,
so he's obviously got the most as a pace bowler. Considering he only played 86, so he played 86 tests, and Anderson's played 181, and Hadley has 4 more fifers.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's wild. I think Headley's like the only old school player on that list, really, isn't it? I mean, you've got both in there lower
both of them
down,
probably,
but
yeah, but that high up, yeah.
yeah. But Headley to be tussling with these guys who have way longer careers, play way, like a lot more tests. So, I mean, yeah, Paddle's greatest ever. There you go.
I've got another good stat for you here, because I've got the whole list up here. How many sort of fifers, because it's got here how many forfers they've got as well. And generally, like if
Okay.
someone's got, so Hadley's got 36 fifers and 25 forfers. So I don't know if there's the thing is like bowling conversion rates, but generally they're all around the sort of same sort of operation. But if you scroll down, Dale Steyn's at 26. If you scroll down to 24 fifers, you've got Sydney Barnes, who only had 2 forfers and 24 fifers in
Gee, that's good. That's
27
good.
in 27 test matches.
Wow, maybe Sydney Barnes is the best player ever.
Well, yeah, average of 16. So there you go. So
Can clean the
that's your
tail
sort
up,
of,
is what that tells you.
yeah. Don't let him get a roll on old Sydney.
Yeah. Gets one or two up the top and always cleans up the tail. That's how you get your bags as a fasty.
Righto. Thanks to everyone that listened and watched. Thanks to Jacko, and we will catch you next week.
Match. Who do I miss out in that list?
Has it stopped recording?